If I could have your attention, please. I believe we are just a tiny bit past 7 o'clock, so we do have some guests tonight. We are honored to have our new Constable, Precinct 1, Mr. Earl White, and we have some students from Lamar University. I believe they're political science students, and they're here to observe. We also have Ms. Samet from wherever she is. She's from Stonetop Center. There she is, and she's going to make a presentation in a little while. But right now, I ask our constable if he would lead us with our pledges, and I also ask Mr. Ronnie Adams to give our education. So you'll all please stand.
You'll follow me in the pledge.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I pledge allegiance
to thee, Texas, one nation under God, one and indivisible.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together. Pray that you'll bless each and every one that's here. Pray that you'll be with the council as they make the decisions tonight and make the correct decisions. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, I know that we do have one citizen who is, let's see, let's back up just a moment. We have our roll call. We have all present except one, and that is Mr. Prouget. Are there any conflicts of interest to be acknowledged tonight? Okay. Now then, we do have a citizen comment. Mr. Markham, who is does our camera for us, he'd like to make an announcement.
Just a quick announcement. Terrell Park is having a butterfly release on Saturday. The release is from 11 to 2. There's supposedly going to be a big crowd there. And we'll have a little booth there ourselves from Terrell Park Stables passing out information. So if anyone's interested, they can come by the butterfly release. I think they'll give people butterflies to actually come to the big release. And come by the stables and visit us. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday too, helping the kids who have leased the stables. And they board, train, let them come pet the horses, and they have trail rides, all that sort of thing. But we'll have a little informational booth there ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Our next, if there are no other citizens comments, did you have any? Okay. All right. Our next item is our report from the Neighborhood Watch. Do you have that for us? Okay.
Return and whack.
Yeah, I know it. I do that.
I'm not seeing. Wait, yeah.
You've got an extended reach right now.
Okay, they had a busy month last month. We had 9 traffic offenses, 2 alarms, 1 road hazard, somebody lost a load of dirt and TxDOT had to clean it up. We had 4 disturbances, 1 verbal abuse, 1 settled by separation, 4-wheeler down noise, and 1 family dispute. 4 suspicious activities, and they all checked okay. 1 firearm discharged. 1 purse and firearm taken for a burglary, and then it was returned. 1 death at the hospice, 1 mental health assist, 1 assist, 3 assists, 1 flag down by a citizen, 1 older person fell, and 1 unresponsive female. We had 1 missing child, was not on the bus, had a welfare concern, was checked okay, and 1 harassment.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. The next item we have is our proclamation of May, being Mental Health Month, and I believe it's an ad, but some of our members here. We'll read the proclamation, and then I think she'd like to say a few words about that. The proclamation reads, whereas the mental health is essential to everyone's well-being. And whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is a strong body of research that supports specific tools that all Americans can use to better handle challenges and protect their health and well-being, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives, and whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Now therefore be it resolved that Bevel Oaks City Council recognizes May 2016 as National Mental Health Awareness Month and call upon all citizens of Bevel Oaks to observe this month with appropriate programs and activities to support mental health recovery. Signed this 21st day of April 2016.
Thank you so much, Mayor Ford, and also I want to thank the City Council for giving us this opportunity. My name is Monique Sinet, and I am a representative from Spindletop Center. For those of you who are not familiar with Spindletop provides services in Jefferson, Hardin, Chambers, and Orange counties for individuals who have mental health diagnosis, substance abuse, or IDD. And we really like to promote and use this time of year to once again raise awareness in the community that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. 1 in 4 adults each year have some type of experience dealing with a mental health diagnosis. Spindletop Center serves over 8,000 people every year with a mental health diagnosis. We have a lot of experience with people who are suicidal, people who are in crisis, and people who have bipolar or schizophrenia. And that's just some of the services that we offer. So if in your daily lives, you know, a family member, neighbor, friend, coworker who may have some type of mental health concern that you may be concerned about, definitely refer them to Spindletop Center. We once again want to always remind people that we are here in the community to help people, and we really want to reach out to as many people as we can because it's just so important for people to get the help that they need. And thank you once again.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all a division of Spindletop Center or Spindletop?
Well, Spindletop Center has, we have multiple locations, but it's all under the Spindletop Center umbrella. We have 2 locations in Beaumont, 1 in Port Arthur, 1 in Orange, and 1 in Silsbee, and it's all Spindletop
Is the
Center.
whole Spindletop thing, is that all mental health stuff?
It's mental health, substance abuse, and IDD. So those are the main categories.
How are y'all funded?
Through the state. We do get small grant funding as well, but for the most part, it's dishes and other programs like that.
Medicare and
Yeah.
And if you don't have the services that they might need, you probably know where to send
Right,
them.
we can refer them to someone else who can help. So that's just an important need in our community.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
You're on the board, our mayor is on the board.
Well, I'll tell you, I learned a lot when I became a member of that board, because I had no idea how far out they reached in all of the levels. That I just didn't know that we had available to us here in our little area, the services that could help just almost everybody. I just, you know, they have the school for the children that are disabled, that cannot go to school, and just everything. It's just almost anything you can think of. And then I had my cousin that I was taking care of, and she needed their services, and when I took her there, it was just, I just couldn't imagine what all they could do, you know.
Can I make one more comment
Sure.
before I forget? Also, I wanted to mention that for those people who may not be able to physically have the transportation to get to us, we have a mobile crisis outreach team that can get to you within an hour if you are located in that 4-county area. They will come to you if you are experiencing a mental health crisis. So that's another important service that we offer.
agenda is, turn past it. Okay, our consent items, do I have a motion to approve the consent items as they are presented? Okay, do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye. No, we're not on consent items.
Some of them, there's a few, I use the term glitches in the minutes for the meeting, a couple of misappearances in there, so.
Just need to get a camera, just get the camera.
Okay,
She'll correct them,
Okay.
as long as it's just typos.
yeah, just a couple of words.
Okay. She will take care of that for you. Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Okay, motion approved. The next item is, I want to talk to you about it, and then I want to talk to you about it. This, when we met with the gentleman from the Texas Parks and Wildlife, when he came to go over our grant with us, does everybody know that we did get approved for the grant with Texas Parks? I mean, I hope you did, because we found that out just before our last meeting, but just in case anyone missed that. Well, anyway, the gentleman came and he met with Michelle and us, to go over the grant and to tell us what to expect next. So we're working on all the things that he told us to do. But anyway, during the course of all this, of course, you know that we did get some bids. They were just bids that we got for the playground equipment and the gazebo and the areas that we proposed on our grant. We've got those just strictly so that we could know how much to ask for and to make sure that the money that we were asking for would be a reasonable amount to cover these things. Well, now then that we've been approved, we're down to serious bidding, to really going out for bids to seriously give a contract to someone. So he told us that what they would like to see us do is to go through this thing called Buy Board. And Buy Board is, you can go online and look at it. It's like a cooperative that has been formed in Texas, and it's all over. But in Texas, the reason he suggested that we do this, and it's not taking away from any local bidders, because they have the opportunity to participate in this too. But anyway, he said this way, these people have already been approved. They have met all the requirements that the state of Texas requires for vendors and contractors who are working for and using grant money. It's just like when we built the fire station. I remember that we had to do some stuff that was similar to this. It wasn't Buy Board, but I know they wanted us to do some things to let them do that. And I remember we had to sign an agreement for them to bid out to some people that were approved for that. And that's what this is. But anyway, and speaking to him after we got back from this past week, I called him just to make sure we were still, that he wasn't waiting on us for something. And I was talking to him about this, and I said, well, concrete's concrete, I mean, I don't see how this would help us all that much with concrete. And he said, no, that, your general contractor would probably be the person that would do that. So I guess we'll when we put that in the newspaper, because I was a little confused, because we were talking about putting our thing for the gazebo in the newspaper, which that would take concrete and then the steel and all of that. And he said, yeah, that would probably be, you'd probably give that to your general contractor. Whoever gets that bid would probably become your general contractor. And he said, and that's fine. He said, the Buy Board thing is something that will come into play for you and that would help you for the playground equipment and the benches and the other things that need to be ADA approved and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, so anyway, all this stuff is supposed to be free to us. I mean, it's not supposed to be anything to, any fees or anything attached to the city to participate in this. And I read this thing once, and I read it again a little while ago, and I saw something in there that made me think, and I'm either misunderstanding it, and I probably am. So the reason I said I wanted to talk to you and then I want to talk to you again is that I want us to do this, but I want to confirm that there is no fees attached to it for the city. Yes.
The buy board has prices that have been basically contracted or agreed upon to be offered to government entities. So basically, if you go to purchase something from the buy board or get bids from a company that is participating in the buy board, you're working off of reduced prices that have been agreed upon to be offered to government entities through this group. So your prices are reduced and it satisfies the requirement to have bids on a project.
Yes.
So we no longer have to go to this company and this company and this company individually. We go to the buy board, we get our options, we go from there. The prices that I did get when I looked at the top, I went back and looked at that invoice, it did say buy board on it, so he did give me buy board prices
Good.
based on us
What you got?
doing
Okay.
this. I
Okay.
did see in here, it looks like there might be a small, I think it said 2%.
Well, now that's what the vendor pays.
Okay.
That's
We're
not what
gonna
I
pay the
saw.
vendor, so we're.
We'll have to pay,
It's-
yeah,
yeah.
we'll have to pay the vendor, but I'm.
But if the prices are reduced
Yeah.
enough, that 2% will still end up saving us money. I can go directly to the
Right.
Playwell company and get a quote directly from them and compare it to what we have through the buy board, even with that 2%, but.
Well, what I
I've
saw.
got the quotes already
Right.
from that,
Right.
which were good prices. I mean, we all looked at those, they
Yeah,
were very good
yeah.
prices. But,
Well, the thing that I saw was where it said that the cooperative member paid a fee, and that was the thing, because the thing says that everything's free. And it may be a very nominal thing, it may not amount to anything, but I just was not comfortable saying, well, let's just do it, you know, without knowing exactly what we were doing. So, I mean, I know that we need to do it, because I know we need to be available to that, but I just felt like that we needed to clarify that part. That was the only question I had.
the whole
And-
purpose of the
yeah.
buy board is to make.
It's for us to save money
It's to
and-
save money
and to
for
be
government
compliant.
entities doing this.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that whatever fee might be associated
Yeah.
with membership would be anything exorbitant. I would be
Right,
really surprised.
it's under here, it says payments by the cooperative member, it's on page 2, it's number
Yes,
4A.
I see it.
And, you know, and that's what, like I said, the first time I read it, it didn't click with me or whatever, but when I read it again, and it was a little bit too late for me to verify it before I could get here, that's why I was running a little bit late. Because I was looking at this thing and thinking, oh my gosh, where did this come from? So, like I said, I think that we should do this, I know we need to do it, but I just wanted to clarify it, so I wanted to let you know that I saw that there, and that I felt like that we should say, subject to all of that still being an acceptable.
I think we need to get some more information on it. I mean, I don't see anything in here that's gonna keep them from making us use their contractor that we want to
It's
pick.
only, well, we do have to, see, the only thing with the playground is you do have to use.
We gotta use that anyway.
We can't install any of it ourselves. We
Yeah.
have to hire
We
somebody to
can't.
come and install everything playground related because of insurance.
Our insurance will.
Liability insurance, they will not allow us to do it ourselves. So, you're going to have to.
Well, 5 minutes ago, y'all said that they said that our general contractor.
That's for the gazebo,
That's
that's for the covered area of the
covered area
concrete.
of the
That's a
gazebo.
separate project.
That's not the playground equipment.
Okay, now what makes them, according to what I'm reading right here, what makes them not make us use their contractor to build that gazebo? If we're using their vendor.
The only thing that we'll go to the buy board for is the playground. We won't go to the buy board for the concrete or
We'll
the
have to go
building
for
at all.
that. We just go for what we want to go for. But the thing is, with this playground equipment, you know, we're not gonna be able, whoever that's bought from, if we ditch, you know, buy one or whatever, you're still gonna have to have them come and do a turnkey job because our insurance won't cover it.
I mean, this isn't the first time that, you know, I've ever heard about a buy board. I mean, they have places that for cities, they go out and buy equipment, stuff like that, that goes to the Galveston, Gulf Coast, whatever it is, thing. That way cities, if we wanted to buy an excavator, for instance, we could go through them and get it thousands of dollars cheaper than what we could get it, you know, through the Kubota place if we just went down there and bought one. If you buy it through that place, but it has to be for a city, you know, in order to use that.
Let me back up for a second too, if I may. We're going to, there's two separate projects. We've got the covered area on a concrete pad that we will then put some picnic tables and benches under, and then we've got the playground area. There are going to be two independent projects. The gazebo with the covering over that covered area is going to be advertised in the paper. We'll be soliciting bids. People will submit bids. We'll pick from that who we're going to have do the project. Then the buy board is where we'll go through for this. What I would suggest maybe with the playground equipment is that we look at it, and as long as that this can be approved contingent upon it showing that we can save money from it. If we can't save money from it, we won't do it, but we can approve this and purchase the membership if we can see where it will save us funds in the project.
That was what I want you to do, because, it's their money, and so we're kind of having to do some of the things like they tell us that they need, that we need
I
to
mean,
do.
would the picnic tables be included in, you have to buy them through them? I mean, they
We can use the buy board, or we can buy them ourselves, however we
It just
choose to buy
depends, we
the
just need to do it where it's gonna
So we
save
should
us
be able to get a
money.
better deal through the buy board.
It should be.
all I'm saying is what I'm reading in here says that you agree that you will use the vendors from the cooperative. And if we are agreeing that we're gonna use their vendors, then no, we're not gonna go out and buy them from somebody else. Isn't that correct?
If we buy into it,
I mean, we'd be breaking their rules if we're signing this thing that says if we agree to use their vendor. By signing this thing,
Does that make it-
under the terms and conditions.
well, see, but you're more familiar with buy boards than, is that something you've seen in other past, so that any project coming up in the future, if we're members, we would always have to use them?
The only thing I know about buying boards is you save a lot of money if you go through that, to buy pieces of.
And that's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying, we could
But
save a lot,
when
but
you, when you go through them, I mean, on something like that, you're gonna know that, like, the county does that, everybody does that, all cities do that. If they need an excavator, they need a tractor, they need that, they just call down there and they get just like a wholesale price on things, they get it.
Well, and
the way
that's,
it works.
that's what we were trying to do here, because anything we can save.
I just
put
wanna
it
make sure
somewhere
that we
else.
don't have to go, we don't have to pay more for the picnic table than we could if because we are wanting to try to get as much playground equipment.
Yeah, well, the company that does the playground equipment also does the picnic tables and benches and stuff, that would all come from the same company, so I hoped to be able to purchase all of that from them as one large group and get a good price on everything at one time. It's just the actual structure of the covering and the concrete. And the guy from Texas Parks and Wildlife said we could do that on its own, and he talked about the buy board for this part, and he seemed more knowledgeable.
Are we gonna have any kind of parking lot or something like that?
Yeah,
Little
well, that will be
parking
separate, totally different, that's separate too. That's not gonna go through here. That will be,
We won't have to go through
no,
him for
we don't
that.
have to go through him with
And
that.
we'll
All of
double
the
check
stuff
that.
that, the only thing that he was interested in helping us with was this stuff like this, that he knows that we have to have it a turnkey because of our insurance and everything, but the things like the concrete and the asphalt and the junk like that, we know we do locally. That's not
We have to our insurance for that.
No,
I mean,
the insurance,
we'll have
that's what I'm saying,
insurance
we will go through that and be an insured contractor, just like anything else we do here. That's gonna go in the newspaper, and probably someone local here will do that.
So buying the equipment, we have to have insurance to be able to buy the equipment?
Our insurance is gonna insure us with Texas Municipal League, will not insure it unless it is done, it is put together by the manufacturer,
They
period.
have to install.
That's
They
right,
have to
the equipment
install.
itself, they have to install it. The days of us getting volunteers to come and put it together, they just won't let us do that anymore and insure us, so,
It costs about the same as the equipment, but
yeah.
I mean, as long as we are getting a good deal and we're not tied down to using their vendors for every single thing.
that wasn't the impression that I got in our meeting.
No, it's a
So we can read through, we can talk through. the
Well, that's what I'm
bylaws.
saying, we're gonna call them back, we're not gonna sign anything until.
Oh,
we're
you want,
totally-
I mean, if we're not approving it right now.
We're just saying subject to,
Are we gonna take, well,
we're gonna just say
are we gonna do
subject
it
to.
next month then?
I
Approve it
really,
next month?
We need-
honestly,
we
I'd
need-
like to get this done. My goal is
Yes.
to have everything approved by Parks and Wildlife for the grant by June first, so that we can get the project underway by the middle of June. So in order to do that, we would need to
Yeah.
probably approve something now, we can put a contingency on it. Contingent
That's-
on not
that's
being
the
locked
plan.
into it and it not costing us more money than we would otherwise spend on our own.
And we can get the information back to everybody.
Otherwise, we'd have to hold an emergency meeting.
Yeah,
to get
she
it.
can email back to everybody what we find out, to where you'll know what we found out. So we don't wanna be locked in, and we.
Yeah, we just don't wanna be tied down to
No.
one place
And-
telling us what we got to
Right,
do.
and like I said, we didn't learn, this until, when I talked to him on Monday, the deal was, there's still one final thing that he has to get for us, and he's not gonna get that to us until we get, I had to order an appraisal, which I did that, right after the day after he met with us. What was the day that he met with us?
March 30th.
Okay, March 30th. So anyway, on the 1st of April, I ordered the appraisal. Because even though we used the numbers, and they're probably gonna come back exactly the same, that was part of the deal. Now that we've been approved, they want a bona fide appraisal.
Well, who's in charge of the designing it to where it will be handicap accessible and things like
That's-
The
that?
company that we're working
That's
with.
The company that's selling you the stuff.
And they
Yes, they know what our requirements are, and
Because
we
you gotta be
already,
able to get
the
them
bid,
from the parking lot to the.
yeah, the quote and the bid that we already have is all for all the equipment to be ADA compliant, so that you can, there's wheelchair ramp accessible into the playground area and everything.
And they have
See,
to
that
have
would be
drawings.
something we could,
They have to have
we get
drawings
that,
for
the
that.
concrete work, right?
Concrete work we can do if we need to build a concrete path or something, but the actual, there's the barrier that goes around the whole playground area, and they've got actual ADA.
Oh,
and
like
there
a
must be certain-
little
Yeah,
ramp to
ramp
get up
going
in
into
there.
it, and there's certain signage that has to be there and everything else, but this company does all of that. So everything's
And we have to have not only the actual lockdown bid, they want a drawing, they want a
Yeah.
architect's drawing or whatever for it. So we have to have that, we have to have the,
I got all of
and the
that.
same thing with the gazebo thing, whatever on that. We gotta have that. So we're working on getting all of that by, and when he gets that, then he's gonna send us this final letter of commitment. And that's what Michelle's talking about, that she needs in her hand before she can do her groundbreaking or whatever she wants to do.
I was
Yeah.
hoping that maybe before we get the whole project started, that we could do a little groundbreaking
Yeah.
thing for the community. I thought that would be kind of
But
fun.
we do need that in our
Let people
hand.
know what's planned, so.
Yeah, we do need that in our hand before we do that.
Will they also do the base? Will they, what kind of base will
The
they put?
materials,
Yeah, the materials
I don't
for the
remember
playground.
exactly which materials it was. There were two options. One was ridiculously expensive and one was reasonably priced, and we went with the lower.
They usually like little wood chips.
I wanna say that maybe what it was, it's a certain kind of
But
material.
not gravel or anything
Oh,
like
no,
that?
no,
Okay.
no, no, no.
Well, and the good thing the man told us too was that in addition that if we could save money, because we asked him specifically, you know, we said there was other things, you know, that we would love to be able to do in addition to the few things that we had actually specifically been approved for. And that, you know, we're certainly gonna try to save as much money as possible and try to save money of our own here, you know, save money from the grant, save money here, you know. And he said that was fine. If we could save money, you know, we could put it towards something else as long as it was in here. And that we could even apply again for another grant to add more stuff to this, you know, as time goes on.
Yeah, as long as
As
we're
long
not
as we
locked
were-
into using their vendors for everything.
Yeah,
I don't
for
see
the
a
buy
problem
work,
with it.
yeah.
I don't see how you could go wrong with it, but if you have to.
Well, those are the two
I would be
things that
surprised.
we will be checking on tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
first thing. And I would have done it today, but I knew there was nobody I could talk to at the time.
We're thinking this is big and really it's gonna be
It is, but
To them, it's
it's
little,
big
to
to
us,
us.
it's huge, yeah.
It's big to us
a
though,
couple of
so.
little things in the parking
I
lot.
know.
Well, the nice thing about going through them, they've done the research and they've got the right stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're.
But if we went to a contractor and got it done, they'd
Well, I'm
also.
talking about the.
People that sell, I mean, even if she calls the place that sells it now, you know, can we get that, all that equipment's gonna be approved, it's not gonna be something that's
Yeah.
not approved by the government or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got all all their guidelines, but really the big one when it comes to playground equipment is that it needs to be ADA compliant, and we're gonna be in that, that's not a problem.
And they'll be checking us, they'll be out here having to decide it would be
Quarterly report.
quarterly reports we gotta do. We've got a lot of paperwork we'll have
Let's
to.
just vote on it and contingency that it's
Okay.
planned.
Well, I just wanted everybody to clearly understand, you know, what my concerns were, so that you know what we were doing. So do I have a motion for us to, we will approve this contingent upon us checking to make sure we are not locked in to having to buy everything from them, and that we are not having exorbitant fees to pay, to be a member.
I'll make
So,
that motion.
okay, second, okay, is there any further discussion about this? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Good deal, all right, we got that. You did, yes. Okay, it looks all right, wow.
May I go into a little more detail on the park, for a few people who might not
Yes,
understand what we've got
yes,
planned?
yes.
Just real quick rundown on what we've got planned for the park. We did get approved for a grant. It's a 50-50 grant from Texas Parks and Wildlife. What that means is they pay 50% and we have to come in and pay the other 50%, and that can be done through the land that we're using for the park. That can be done through manpower hours. That can be done through donations of any kind of equipment and all those different things. So there will probably be some work days ahead. If y'all want to join us, that'd be fantastic. It's the location of everything is going to be, if you're going down Sweet Gum, and you make a left on the boulevard, that stretch from that corner to the basketball courts down Sweetgum and all the way down to River Bend and back to the canal is the space that we're talking about using right now. The fire station kind of sits on an acre that's been blocked out that we're not gonna touch. So we're looking at putting the playground area just, if you're looking at the fire station like this, back behind it to the left. And there's gonna be a little parking apron to the left right there. There's gonna be a little covered area with a concrete pad, with picnic tables and such. So that's where we're looking at.
It'll be by where they stored those rocks.
Yes.
Where's the county gonna move the rocks to?
I don't know, that's their problem, not mine.
They can put them back here.
No, I'll talk, we'll figure
I've
something
done
out.
it before.
Yeah, we'll figure
We
something
got
out.
plenty of places where we put it.
This is taking precedence over a pile of rocks, I tell you that.
But we already have a good parking lot there with those rocks there. That's good. That's
Well,
not a
it-
parking lot.
There's a little bit of a parking area already there, so we're gonna
Yeah,
make
that's
that kind of just
new, I believe.
formalize it a little bit
Yeah, that
as
was
a
a
parking
cool
space.
parking lot there.
And
those pictures that you
I didn't bring them with me and I should have, I'm so sorry.
And when we surveyed all this, we went ahead and there's phase one and phase two of this. Because there were people that, you know, our goal hopefully is to, there's actually three phases, yeah, is to eventually have some walking trails, you know, to go across, you know, there's a little drainage ditch that goes through there, and we know that we have to do some work on it first. And there's some discussion going on with DD6 on that right now to try to get it to where it's mowable, you know, and get it cleaned out to where we can keep it clean, because we don't need it to be a snaky place and people walking around on either side of it. So that's another thing. And when the man was here, he talked to us about some different kind of grants that would be available to us that would be better for us to apply for in the future, that would not take us, we wouldn't have to be putting up such a large amount from our side. We could do like an 80-20, you know, so let's just do 20%. So that's what we're going to be looking at as soon as we can get this one under our belt, and to try to maybe make that one happen sooner than we were thinking, because we were thinking that might have to be several years off with us having to save all of our money to try to get a 50%, you know, a 50-50 thing going there like we did this time, because we can't use our land anymore. We've run out of that, but anyway, it was encouraging to visit with this young man, and because he's real knowledgeable of what all's out there. And then today I was talking to someone else that I never thought about that had grants available, that said, I have something I want to send you some information on that we might can help you with something, because she just thought it was wonderful what we're doing out here. And I thought, well, I just think it's wonderful. You think it's wonderful. Send it on out here, you know. We will look at it. You have no idea how needy we are. We'll take it, you know, send it out here. So that's good, you know. So people are interested in helping us, and that's great. So we're going to take it, anything they're willing to give us, and try to make it happen as soon as possible.
Would it be possible to put a copy of the water utilities, utility specialties, what their report is, and a report from on the sanitary lift station, sewer lift station, up there on that table? So, you know, all we do is approve all this stuff, we vote on it.
Sure.
And y'all out there don't have any idea what they did this last month. You ain't got a clue as to what happened at the sanitary sewer thing, or what he ran into, you know, on the water department stuff. And, I mean, I think y'all should know that. If you go to a council meeting, you ought to know what's going on in the city.
We can do that. I can have Kim do that if you'd like for me to. I'll read it to you real quick, since we're
Not a lot, but it is something. you know.
well, Charlie had he had three things that he put in here: that he had to repair a discharge line from water well number 3, and he had 2 sewer stoppages and 2 sewer repairs, and he had 2 water leaks. And as far as the sewer thing, the lift station, it's currently pumping to the wastewater treatment plant, and our vegetation that they were worried about, you know, for the pond, the rain that we've had way too much of was just exactly what our grass needed, because the minute, even though they've been watering it, as soon as it started getting rain, it started growing like crazy. So it's growing real good on the sides of the pond, and they were waiting for the approval from the city of Beaumont to begin pumping to their collection system.
So we're still not using we're still using our old sewer plant right now. We're not pumping the Beaumont.
Not yet,
And
not
the
yet.
pond's not in. If y'all saw sewer backing up and stuff in the city during these last rain events, That should be because we're not pumping to Beaumont
Yeah.
and the pond's not in
Yeah,
operation
nothing's
yet.
happening yet down there.
Right now, from what I understand, they're waiting on the city of Beaumont to
Yeah,
let us
that's
start
right.
sending them.
And they're still got to do, some roof repairs on the little building down there, and they were still working on the pond wash down system and the demolition, and of course, the old plant's gotta be torn down, but that won't happen, obviously, until we actually pump it. And,
Let it go for a while.
the contractor's gonna be requesting he submitted a payment for $16,920.70 for the work that's already been done for this period, so that's the extent of that. But they're working as fast as they can on that, and I think Charlie can agree that the end is pretty soon.
It's really, really close.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
The pumps that we put in there,
Yeah,
they're not very big, they're massive pumps and water.
that's good, that's good.
Nothing we ever had here, or pump as much as they did.
They'll wait a while, right, before they tear that wastewater treatment plant down and make sure that that's gonna work.
Several, I think James talking 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To keep the plant
So we can
operational.
maybe get a couple of rainstorms, make sure it.
Oh,
Make
it
sure
is.
it.
Well,
It's gonna happen.
if any indication of what they're pumping into the plant now, what they're gonna do when they pump the city of Beaumont, it's gonna do well. It's gonna do well.
So, yeah, but that's it, but y'all ask him to, I'll ask him
I
to
want to say
listen to that.
something before you adjourn.
Okay,
Okay, you ready?
yeah.
Y'all been taking notes and you're from a class at Lamar. What class is that? And, do you have to go to any more cities besides just this one?
We went to Needland.
Excuse me?
We went to Needland.
Good.
We can go somewhere we want, but, yeah, we chose to come to this one.
And do you have to do like a theme or something that that's a,
It's a project. We have to write a paper on what we observed. And just compare different cities.
oh, okay. I'm glad you chose different, but that's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we didn't have a whole lot of business tonight, but anyway, sometimes it's more than that. We have had.
of their shirt that they're honor students.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
We're real happy to have you tonight.
I'm graduating from Lamar.
Well, if there's nothing further, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.